Hello students, this video will continue with metals and non-metals. So let's understand the occurrence of metals. So some metals we have already discussed like gold, silver, platinum. They are already found in free state in the Earth's crust. Why? Because they are least reactive. And most of the metals they are found in the form of oxides, carbonates, sulfides and halides. Next. So let's understand what are minerals. So minerals are elements or compounds which occur naturally inside the Earth's crust. So next coming to ore. So ore is a mineral which we can extract metals from it. So let's understand what is gangue. These are the impurities that is present in the ore like the rock particles, sand particles and clay particles. So we'll go to next slide. So let's understand the extraction of metals from their ores. So metals are extracted from their ores by using three main steps. The first one is concentration of the ore, or it is known as enrichment of the ore. Next comes the reduction to the metal, and finally it is refining or purification of the metal. So let's start with the first step, that is concentration of the ore. So what is concentration of the ore? It is the removal of impurities, as we are told before that impurities are also known as gangue. So from the ore by different methods. See, here we can see that how we are able to refine or extract the metals. So here we can see that in this flow chart, so metals of high reactive, they can be extracted by electrolysis process from the molten ore, and finally we can obtain the pure metal. So next in the series of reactivity comes the metals with medium reaction, and they are of two types, that is one that can be extracted from carbonate ore, the other one is from the sulfide ore. So from the carbonate ore we can obtain the metals from the process of calcination, that is in the absence of oxygen, and from sulfide ore we can use the method roasting in the presence of oxygen. So finally we will get the oxide of the respective metal, and from there we need to reduce to metal and finally refine the metal to get in the purified form. So last but not the least, it is the metals of low reactivity. They are of the sulfide ores, and we can obtain it by roasting method, and we can follow the metal by refining process. So next. So let's understand one by one now. So extraction of metals that is low in reactivity series. So some metals which are low in reactivity series, they can be reduced by the process of heating and in the presence of oxygen. This process is known as roasting. So let's take an example of mercury that we can obtain in the form of its ore, that is cinnabar. So from the ore we do not get directly mercury, but the name that is given is cinnabar, and by heating in the presence of oxygen. So when it is heated, the presence of oxygen, it is converted into mercuric oxide, and further on heating it is reduced to mercury. So let's understand that mercuric sulfide plus oxygen gives rise to mercuric oxide and release of oxygen. So next. So let's take another metal, that is copper, is also obtained from sulfide ore and by heating in the presence of oxygen. So let's understand copper sulfide when reacts with oxygen to give rise to copper oxide and release of sulfur dioxide. So next. So let's understand the middle order series of the reactivity series and their extraction of metals. So metals in the middle order are like zinc, iron and lead. So zinc is represented as Zn, iron represented as ferrous or Fe, and lead represented as Pb are found as oxide, sulfides or carbonate ores. So it is easier to obtain these metals from their oxides from their sulfide or carbonates. So these oxides are converted to oxide from before reduction. So non-oxide ores can be converted into oxide form by the process of roasting or calcination method. So let's understand the process of roasting. As previously told, is heating of an ore in the presence of oxygen, and it is used to convert especially sulfide ores into oxide form. So what happens here is zinc sulfide plus oxygen in the presence of heat gives rise to zinc oxide and sulfur dioxide. So let's understand calcination process. So it is the heating of an ore in the absence of oxygen. So it is used to convert, here again sulfide ores are converted into oxide form, but the difference is that they are heated in the absence of oxygen. So let's understand, it's zinc carbonate in the absence of oxygen on heating gives rise to zinc oxide and releases carbon dioxide. The oxide ore is then reduced to the metal and by heating with a reducing agent. So the most common reducing agent is coke, or it's known as carbon. So zinc oxide plus carbon. So we have already obtained zinc oxide previously by the process of calcination or roasting. So this zinc oxide, when combined with carbon, gives rise to pure metal of zinc and release of carbon monoxide. So next. So let's understand Thermit reactions. So sometimes reactive metals, I had already told high order series of metals, that is sodium, calcium, aluminium, are used as reducing agents to obtain metals from their metal oxides. So manganese oxide and addition of aluminium gives rise to manganese and aluminium oxide plus release of heat. So let's understand more. The reaction between metal oxides and aluminium is highly exothermic. A lot of heat is liberated. The metals are obtained in the molten state. So let's understand that these reactions are known as Thermit reaction. So reaction between iron oxide and aluminium, they produce a molten iron, that is a semi-liquid form of the metal. This reaction is used in joining the rail tracks in using broken machine parts, that is joining the broken machine parts. So ferrous oxide plus aluminium gives rise to aluminium oxide and iron and liberation of heat. So finally, in the series comes the extraction of metals at the top of reactivity series. So here the metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, aluminium, etc., they cannot be obtained from their ores by simply heating and by heating with reducing agents or by the process of calcination or roasting. So here we will be using electrolytic reduction of their molten chlorides. So when here electric current is passed through molten sodium chloride or sodium metal is deposited in the cathode. So here you can see sodium metal is deposited at the cathode and chlorine gas is deposited at the anode. So here sodium metal, so metal always is going to give its electrons and non-metal always accepts the electrons. So here you can see that sodium metal gets attached to the cathode. So next. So let's understand, we have already got our metals, but it is in the impure form. So we'll learn about refining of metals. So here the impurities are removed from the metal to obtain the pure metal, and this process is known as refining of metals. The most common method that is used in this process is electrolytic refining. So here what is done is a block of impure metal is made at the anode. So impure copper, for an example, impure copper is taken at the anode and the electrolyte solution is the salt solution of the metal itself. So if it is a copper impure metal, you will take copper sulfate solution itself. So you can see that a thin sheet of pure metal is made at the cathode. So in the electrolytic refining of copper, a block of impure copper is made at the anode and a pure copper is made at the cathode. The electrolytic is acidified copper sulfate solution. The solution is acidified copper sulfate solution. So if you are going to separate sodium chloride also, if sodium metal is need to be separated, you will be using the solution of sodium chloride itself. So you can see that when electric current is passed and pure copper from the anode, so you can see pure copper from the anode gets deposited at the cathode and the impurities will store at the bottom, and these impurities are known as anode mud. So let's understand what is corrosion. So corrosion is a damage caused to the metals due to reaction of metals with oxygen, moisture or carbon dioxide. So we'll take an example. Formation of brown coating you can observe over the iron, that is due to rusting. So formation of green coating of basic copper carbonate over copper. So what is deposited over the copper? It is known as copper carbonate. So formation of black coating of silver sulfide over silver. So this is a small experiment here. So we are going to take 3 test tubes, 1, 2 and 3, and you are going to put iron nails in each of them. So put some anhydrous calcium chloride in the first test tube to absorb the moisture. So pour some boiled distilled water in the tube 2 and pour some oil over it to prevent entry of the air in the test tube. So next slide. So third test tube you are going to pour some water along with the iron nail. So cork the test tubes and leave them for few days. The nails in test tube 1 do not get rusted. Why? Because it is not in contact with the air or moisture. So the second one, you can see that again it is not in contact with the air because there is a layer of oil. But the third one gets rusted because it is a mixture of air and water. So next. So how are you going to prevent this type of corrosion of metals? So you can apply oil or grease over the metal or applying paint to it by the process of galvanization, means the coating with the help of zinc, and by tinning, coating with tin, that is these are all the elements that is at the low reactivity series, or by electroplating, that is coating a less reactive metal like chromium to the already present metal like iron, by alloying. So let's understand what are alloys. So alloy is a homogeneous mixture of metal that is combined with other metals or non-metals. So how is steel going to be made? So it's an alloy of iron and carbon. So stainless steel is a combination of iron, carbon, cobalt and nickel. So brass is a combination of copper and zinc. Bronze, a combination of copper and tin. So solder is a combination of lead and tin. So you might be heard of welding process. So these are used well electrical wires together. So if this alloy or combination of these metals will have the presence of mercury, then it is known as amalgam. So keep in mind that these alloys, whatever is formed, is mixed with mercury. It is known as amalgam. So that completes this topic. Thanks for watching.